The O'Neill Chest Zip Epic is the perfect suit for someone looking for a suit that is dependable, warm and flexible that doesn't break the bank. My name's Henry from Shaw and let's dive into a little bit more information on this suit. So the O'Neill Epic comes in multiple different variations and the suit we're going to be talking about today is the latest 2025 onwards suit. Now, what that is this is the chest zip version and it comes in multiple different thicknesses. So they do a 4-3, which is going to be your suit for the mid-seasons, so your Septembers, Octobers, your Easter times. They do a 5-4, which is 5mm on the chest, 4mm on the arm. And that's really for all the way through the winter and works really well if you're in the UK, especially on the South Coast. That's going to do you most of the time. And what we find amazing at this price point is they do a 6-4 hooded version, which we have here. Now this suit is an absolute beast. So if you feel the cold or you do want to get in the water on those coldest days and not break the bank, this option is fantastic. A lot of the local guys will use this as their core suit between sort of January, February. So it doesn't get much use, but they can keep it in the locker and pull it out whenever it is those absolute Baltic days and then wear another suit on those sort of outside of the coldest, snowiest, chilliest days. So a really good option there, especially at the price point. Now, what differentiates the Epic from other suits at this price point is the neoprene it uses. So it uses something called O'Neill's Ultraflex neoprene. If you were to go back 5 or 6 years, you'd find that this material was what they were using in their top end suits and it was never available at the price point. O'Neill over time have been able to generate new materials and create new stuff called TechnoButter, and again, fantastic material, but you do start paying a lot of money for those newer materials, while Ultra Stretch or Ultraflex has now come all the way down into this price point suit, which is fantastic. So it means that it's stretchy throughout the entire suit versus where other ones at this price point may only have it in the top of the suit. Really does make a big difference when you get the suit home, especially if this is your first wetsuit, you haven't had a wetsuit for a while and you're getting back into getting in the water, then you'll be amazed at how flexible these suits are. And if it is your first wetsuit, having a suit that is 100% stretch just makes it feel so much easier to get on, especially when you're sort of out there and using a lot of energy paddling or duck diving or trying to duck dive. Having that stretch throughout the suit really does feel fantastic. Now with the Epic, they're all a GBS seam or a glued and blind stitch seam. So that's the way the suit's put together. You can go watch another video telling you a bit about how that seam works. But fundamentally, GBS is a great option because it keeps that water out, but it's still nice and flexible throughout. In the Epic, it uses a lining. So you'll understand the more money you spend, the more features you get on wetsuits basically. And at this level, you can start getting linings that come in. So that's the material that touches between you, the wetsuit, and you. And the more money you spend, the more technical these linings get. In the Epic, they use a firewall from the top of the chest right the way down to the knees. And I would say at this price point, there aren't many other suits offering that. The idea behind the firewall or this lining is that it allows the water to drip through quicker. Fundamentally, wetsuits work by sort of creating a thin layer of water between you and the neoprene, which heats up when your body gets warm. But actually, water isn't as good an insulator as air. So if you can get a bit of that water off your core organs and that core sort of body area, and you get a bit more air space in there, that air heats up and keeps you warmer for that bit longer. So the Epic has this all the way down the chest on this really nice long panel here, and all the way on the back. Any bit you're seeing that's blue there is that firewall. And yeah, for keeping you that little bit warmer, it really does make a big difference. Now there's a few other bits I really like on these suits, just little nice extras that perhaps you wouldn't realise just reading the description. The first of all is the entry system. So as I said, they are all chest zip, but this is O'Neill's F.U.Z.E system. You can Google it, find a bit more about it. But fundamentally, it's the same entry system they use on their top end suits as they use on this suit. So you're getting the same closure method, the same ability to stop the water getting in, which is fantastic. There's a few little things to note. There are drain holes built into this entry system. There's one on the arm, one on the back, and one hidden inside. It's amazing how many people get these suits home and think that the suit's not been finished just because this little area where the water is meant to drain out is sort of left a bit uncut, but it is meant to be there and it does allow the water to drain out. Now, a big thing I like about O'Neill wetsuits, and again, may seem like very small, but trust me, when you've worn the suit a lot or you've worn a lot of wetsuits, it does make a big difference, is the neck. O'Neill use something called a double rolled neck. It's a bit of a niche thing, but basically instead of having any sharp lines around your neck that could cause a rash or could cause irritation, they actually slightly roll over the edge with a very supple, soft material. So what that means is you basically have a really good seal. So first of all, water can't get in. And secondly, there's no pinch points, which could cause irritation on your skin and give you a rash, which is, I think, a really nice touch. And again, probably not something that you talk about much with wetsuits, but does make a big difference when you're wearing them. Now, sizing is the most crucial thing with wetsuits. You could buy this suit, but if it's the wrong size, it's not going to keep you warm. So trying to make sure you get the right size is key. O'Neill do a great job with a huge selection of fits and sizes. So you can scroll down on any of our product pages and you'll see the size guide with all the variations. They do tall variations, they do short variations, they do extra large tools. Trying to get that fit is crucial. We have a size guide video on our website, so you can pop down once you get the suit home and you can compare yourself to that. It shows what a good fitting suit looks like and what a poor fitting suit looks like. Or if you can make it down to our shop, we have a real shop full of hundreds and hundreds of wetsuits with expert fitters in there who can make sure you get the right fit. But as I say, it's crucial you get that. So if you do have any questions when you get the suit home, do jump online, do just send us an email, even a picture of you in the wetsuit. Trying to ensure that you get something that fits the best it can is super important. Finally, on these suits, they are, as I say, all in our shop. So if you can make it down, come and see them. We have the full O'Neill range. If you have a little bit more budget, maybe look at the Hyper Freak. It is a big step up in price, but you do get a slightly more technical, advanced neoprene called TechnoButter, so it's worth a look. And really, if you're a bit unsure about this chest zip, check out the back zip version. It's not as flexible or potentially as warm as this suit, but if you're looking for something that's going to be a bit easier to get on and off, that back zip version is really a good option. Any other questions, do just jump on our Instagram, YouTube, comments, all of that. We're here to help. We want to help you out. So yeah, my name's Henry from F.U.Z.E, and that's the O'Neill Epic chest zip available now.